Hello and welcome to Scythe and Shield, a GrindExp Diablo 3 podcast. Hi, I am Dr J Dredscythe and will lead you on this adventure. Scythe and Shield aims to have a great discussions with great people about some of the larger topics of the day, while also getting beneath the BattleTag that we all have, and get to know our community personalities a little bit more intimately. Not that way, get your heads out like others folks. Alright. So, with that being said, let's just, start getting into it. And now, before I do our guest intro, I must say this first. And this is small embarrassment time, humbling time for myself. And essentially boils down to there are 3 people in the Diablo community that have kept me going in all aspects of the website, the podcasting, and actually just playing the game in general. And my guest here, who is a teacher to Archon wizards everywhere, a person of Zen-like focus for creating wizard builds out of the tranquil air, a craftsman of videos, and I think the only fully feature-length A to Z guide of 90 minutes or longer, I don't remember, but which I have personally watched twice. The official forum MVP, Jaetch. So welcome to the show.
Hey there. Hear you clearly. Good thing. All right.
Yes. Always a good thing. Yes. This is the first interviewee, and kinking out all the bugs. We'll get better at this, folks. I promise. So with that, we'll just say what's going on. Either real life game. What's going on? How's it going?
Right now, I think just like everybody else, I'm just enjoying the game. You know, patch 2.01 just came out. What is it now? A week or so, and we're at now patch 2.03 now already. There's 2 patches in, more hotfixes incoming.
Yeah.
So,
there was, if I remember correctly, Nevelis has made an upcoming hotfix patch, so you're correct.
Yeah. So, just taking it step by step, right? Counting down the days till the auction house closes and Rebirth Soaps comes out. Just casual fun right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've noticed, I think I've gotten about 1 million gold from just selling white items.
Definitely. I haven't done that. I've been hoarding them. I need my crafting mats.
Yeah, I'm thinking I should switch over as well. I'm pretty much doing the same exact thing. Just, playing the game, enjoying the game, actually having fun. I could say I have fun playing Diablo 3. Make it a bumper sticker, sell it for $5. Have a lot of fun. So, any special moments or any new characters you decided to level with any wink methods?
If you're winking at the early power leveling tactics that people were employing, yeah, I did that. Well, for leveling new characters from 1 to 60. Because as soon as day 1, people figured out that the Skeleton King was dropping guaranteed legendaries, we all jumped on that. I mean, everyone was jumping on that, everybody in the clan was jumping on that, and I think I leveled, on the very first day, I think I leveled 5 new wizards to level 60. Just from jumping into a Torment 6 game with people, and I just, boom, level 130, level 30 to 60 in approximately 5 to 10 minutes. That's really what it took. And as soon as you hit 60, kill Skeleton King, delete the character, power level the next one. That's all I did for the first day, pretty much. And yeah, and whoa, Paragon levels did the same thing for not as much as I did with the power leveling stuff, but the cursed chest events that people were doing in Act 1. I did that for about a couple hours. Just to see what it was all about, and I leveled up 9 times, I think, and I was already in the Paragon 300s at that point, so 9 times was actually a lot in 2 hours. So that I stopped as soon as I realized, okay, this is clearly not the way the game is meant to be played, and lo and behold, it was nerfed a couple days later. So that's the extent of leveling.
Yeah.
Anything else I should mention? Well, I didn't get really anything out of the guaranteed drops from the SK, so technically it was just an experience. Didn't really get too much progression out of that.
As always, RNG will always be RNG. Even Blizzard does not know how great of a beast the RNG is.
Yeah, certainly.
Alright, so now that we settled in a little bit, we'll move into some of the questioning. Now, again, first time going around, and the way the interviews will work is there'll be a part A, a set list of questions, pretty standard questions that I'll be asking, and then there's part B, which will be entitled The Best of Times, The Worst of Times. It's my twist on sort of rapid fire questions. They'll never be the same, so future guests will always be left wondering what the other questions will be, and the pool of questions will always be expanding, and some old ones may be removed, just to give a little bit more fun, a little bit more flair to the whole interview process. So with that, let's just jump into the whole thing. Where does your name Jaetch actually come from? Any history behind it, or is it just something simple?
Yeah, this is a story I've shared a couple of times in the past already, and it's actually really simple. It's my kid brother and I, we played a lot of online games in the past, so we were always jumping in between a lot of different usernames. We never really settled into anything, and when my kid brother first settled into his while playing League of Legends, I decided I should really pick a username that I'll use across like different channels, different games. So I just took my first and last initials, J and H, pronounce J, pronounce H, you get Jaetch. Just like that. Very simple. And I actually made a YouTube video on how to pronounce this before, because a lot of people were having a kick out of mispronouncing my username quite a lot.
I think I was one of those. I think I was pronouncing it J-Tech.
Yeah, along with like 90% of other people, I would say. So I had to clarify that just a little bit. So there we go. That's how you pronounce it. J and H. Jaetch.
All right. Now, this question, as you've seen the write-up, how old are you, if you dare? And what's your profession, your work or your study, whatever you're doing at the current time, or have done in the past?
Old enough to serve beverages.
For our international audience, that is 21.
Yeah, I'm actually 20. I'm 25 right now. I say 21, old enough to serve beverages, because I used to be a bartender a couple years back, and I did that for a little bit. It was a lot of fun, and I just left my job as a PR guy. So basically all I did was just funnel media questions all over the place, and it wore down on me a little bit, and I figured I need some time off, so that's what I'm doing right now, just taking a little break, playing D3, just enjoying my time off. But I was bred, if that's the way to put it, I was bred to be a writer when I was in school, but I figured, yeah, anyone can be a writer seriously nowadays, so that I'll probably do as a little hobby on the side. Same thing with video editing and stuff like that. But in the meantime, I think PR was a good thing that happened to me. Bartending was fun. I think I'll be continuing the whole communications and PR gig in the coming years.
Right on. All right. Now everyone has these kind of moments. Even if the game itself, whatever game that is, we all have those games that don't really hold on to us, and there are some games that hold on to us for the rest of our lives. So, what was your first time, like, seeing or playing Diablo? Like, if you have both, you can definitely tell both. But like, which one that of you remember really holds a place in your memory?
Okay, I didn't play Diablo 1. That was way before I actually really got myself into PC games. So I never really submerged myself in that environment. Diablo 2 I touched on a little bit in the past, but not nearly as much as I did with D3, and not nearly as much as the next guy playing any Diablo games. So most of my Diablo experiences came from watching people play Diablo 2, reading on Diablo 2 stuff, and playing Diablo 3 itself. And other than that, I mean, all my experiences mostly come from Diablo 3 right now, with, again, just bits and pieces of Diablo 2. So, I mean, sorry, what was the question again?
No, just the first time seeing Diablo, or playing. If you have that really first genuine awesome memory of the Diablo series.
Awesome memory, huh? Again, it's only in Diablo 3 right now, right? Getting most of these experiences from. Well, actually, no. Let me go back on that. Diablo 2. While I was playing, I didn't really get that far. My experience was really limited back then. But while I was watching people play, especially older friends, cousins, people who were more into the PC environment, the cow level, right, with all the murderous cows with their scythes and whatever, that really left a huge imprint in my mind back when I was younger. So it was to say the least, it was almost traumatizing in a way, seeing that, the whole moo chasing after you and then gutting your barbarian in half. That was pretty gruesome, and that stuck with me. Playing Warcraft 3 after that, there is no cow level, you win the game. That was just bringing back up all those memories. When D3 came out, you're always wondering if there's a cow level, and what happened with that. Yeah, so in terms of memories, that was a big one. D3, probably memories. Getting my first legendary item at level 44, Hell Mode, Hammer Jammers. Getting my first set item, Natalia's Soul, the set boots, while farming Act 4 when people were exploiting the aspects, right, in the Silver Spire early on. That's when I got my first set item. And after that, would probably Paragon 100 on my first wizard back in was it November, December of 2013 or 2012? 2012. Man, that was a long time ago. Jeez.
Yeah.
2012. Oh man.
Yeah. The game is actually more than a year old. Then you start losing all track of time. Because it's not a matter of months or a year. Now it's a matter of a year or a year.
Exactly.
Now you kind of touched on you were watching cousins or older friends play, however it was. May have gotten that backwards actually. But is there a particular person that got you into the game, or was it really just you going, I like this?
Yeah, I actually made a forum post on this, on the official forum, because we were doing a little, tell me about yourself kind of thing before. I actually got into D3 it was a very, very spontaneous decision. It was literally on launch day, I decided, I'm bored. I decided to just go buy D3, the digital copy, right on the spot. And a lot of my friends were actually hyped up about it, so they kind of influenced me in a way, but not really, because they didn't actually tell me to go get the game. I just, in the back of my mind, I remember them talking about it, so I decided to go buy the game on launch day. And just like everyone else, I couldn't really log in, right? Created my wizard, couldn't play. But yeah, that's really it. Just a spontaneous, on-the-spot decision to go get the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you bring up that whole Ever 37 deal. I'm just having kind of nightmares going. Servers were up at 3, playable at 4:30. You were in at 5.
Yeah, I believe I had work back then too, so managed to create my wizard. Couldn't really play, so I kind of just gave up on it and waited until the next day to actually play the game.
Yeah. You gave longevity to the game in the beginning by waiting that extra day. Yeah, so the second to last question of part A of the interview basically boils down to what has been kept you playing or going through all the, even though it is Diablo 3 a large part of your Diablo experience, what has been keeping you going throughout the barely there years?
For Diablo 3, just specifically?
Yeah.
Alright, I guess I'll just take it back to when I first started, back in May 2012. I was pretty much a solo player at that time, I had a lot of real life friends playing, but for the most part, I was playing solo, and just, immersing myself in the solo player experience, talking to every NPC in a game, like an RPG game, right? Like a solo RPG game. That's what I treated it as right in the beginning. But eventually, the solo playing gets on you and wears you down, so you end up playing public games. You play with your friends, and that's what I did for. Let's say I probably sold my way to Inferno in June 2012. And after that, I did my fair share of grinding, and my fair share of auction housing, until probably around August and September-ish of 2012. That was when I first started chasing Diablo progress numbers. A lot of people did that, and it's an expensive hobby. You're building your character through trading and buying and flipping items and your occasional luck in game, but that kept me going for the latter part of 2012. And during that time, I also met a lot of different people who shared the same interests, chasing numbers, chasing scores, and building the highest DPS character in the country. And that probably lasted until I hit Paragon 100, actually. Once I hit Paragon 100, that was also when I peaked around top 5. I think I peaked around number 2 in the country for Wizard DPS. And that was when I decided, alright, I hit Paragon 100, I pretty much hit my goals to be like the top 5 DPS in the country. So I started cashing my stuff out. It was kind of inevitable that I started cashing out because it was such an expensive hobby to maintain that there's just no way I can keep this going while also paying, my student loans, my credit card bills and all that good stuff. So I cashed out. I actually quit the game. A lot of people actually don't know this, but I quit the game for
spoilers
for 1 week. I quit the game for a whole week. I actually wanted to. Yeah.
That's not so spoiler.
I actually wanted to quit the game for a longer period of time, but as soon as I cashed out my last item, made a couple grand off these items, through PayPal, real money auction house, and transferred all the funds through PayPal, made a couple grand, not profit actually, just getting my money back and making I think a couple $100. That's all I made on it, but
wow.
Yeah, that's how much I spent, right? It's ridiculous. But cashed out my last item, and as soon as I cashed out my last item, Blizzard announced that PvP was coming out in the form of brawling. And wow, I guess I have to come back now because I gotta try that out, Well, we didn't know how it was gonna turn out. It wasn't, the best thing in the world. It was entertaining for a little while. But I came back, I used some of the funds that I made to gear right back up. But instead of gearing up for DPS this time, I geared up solely for balance, for EHP. You want to be tanky, right, for PvP. That's like the first goal. You want to outlast your opponent. So that's how I geared up. And
definitely
in the PTR when they were featuring PvP, I played around with the gear that I had, and it was successful for a bit. PvP was new, brawling was new. Not a lot of people knew what they were doing, so I pretty much just stomped most of the people just from outgearing them. That's really what it was. So that was entertaining again for a short period of time when the game went live. And as soon as I grew bored of PvP, I realized, oh well, now I have all this gear. I can farm with it, but, I'm already Paragon 100. What do I do? Do I level up another character? What's the point? I have my magic find on my Paragon 100 character. Why would I go for a new one? So, I played with my Paragon 100 character, and I started, guess what? Chasing Diablo progress numbers again. So, this time, instead of chasing pure DPS scores, I decided to go for PvP points. That was another category of stats featured on Diablo Progress, the PvP dummy score. But just from straight gearing up alone from the excess funds that I made, I was already at number 1 for PvP dummy. So I was like, what am I gonna do now? I'm already number 1. What do I do? So I just decided to not do any of that and just play casually, for fun. And that was actually the very first time ever since June 2012 or so that I actually just sat down and played the game casually. So that was the birth of the brand new me. I played for fun. I started putting a lot more work into the community. Just a tangent, I got involved in the community through Diablo fans in around September 2012, and it just went on from there. Helped the community, quit the game, came back, and now I submerged myself into the community even more while playing casually, met a lot of new people, and went from there. And during this time, I guess some people actually caught on to the whole PvP thing and decided to also build themselves with high EHP, a little bit of DPS on the side, and I was dethroned from my number 1 spot rather quickly, and that brought out the competitive side in me again, so I started, again, putting money into the game. It was a hobby, and I'm like, all right,
cycle continues.
Yep, now I just gotta get my DPS stats, and I also gotta get my all resist, my armor, my vitality, my dex for the dodge to bring up that EHP score, and oh boy, it was starting to get expensive again. So, did I cash out? Yeah, in a way. When was this? I think it was probably March, April-ish of last year. March or April-ish of last year. Around that time, I think. I began to swap my gear out for more I don't care gear. I'm just gonna get the stats I need and farm with the stats I have and go from there. And eventually, I would say May, June-ish of 2013, I ended up getting stats higher on my DPS and EHP side than it has ever been back when I cashed out in like December, January, winter of 2013. That was, oh man, looking back, so much money put into the game. And my stats actually haven't changed all that much since then, but that DPS EHP numbers chasing was what kept me going for a while. And as soon as I realized how expensive it was, again, my second time through, I started playing casually with the community. You know, MVP status later on. That was another push for me to put more work into the community. And the community, that's what's been keeping me going ever since I stopped chasing Diablo progress numbers.
When you put the brake on the gear and they're like, wait, no, I need money to eat tonight.
Yeah, I need to eat. I need to pay my bills. It wasn't that bad, but it was. I feared that it was gonna get there pretty soon.
All right. Yeah, let's just hit up the last question and then we'll move into the rapid fire segment. Keeping it brief, and it may be hard to pick one thing, but from all the experiences and everything that you've said today, what is your biggest wish for the franchise going forward into Rebirth Souls and beyond?
All right. You know, having played the beta, I know you played the beta. I was in the beta. We saw a lot of development progress. You know, we got to know how developers think, how they react to certain things, how they change things, how the players respond, how the players, with the player experience in a way. I think a lot of progress has been made. It's really good, and I know there's a lot of more improvements to be made as well. But you know, given that the developers are on a strict deadline, you know, you can't have everything at once. You know, so for Reaper of Souls, as it stands right now, it's a good, very, very solid starting point. I would like to see more end game options. A lot of people have been saying it, and I'll be saying it too. Chasing gear, chasing different builds, leveling new characters. You know, once everybody gets their characters level 70, all classes, and they settled into their own little build, their own personal favorite builds, or the most efficient one, or whichever one that may be at the time. You know, that's it. That's the end of the chasing. You know, people are gonna grow bored. You know, just only you can only do one thing, grinding for gear for so long before people grow bored. So hopefully by the time that comes around, if it's 3 months, 6 months, a year, hopefully there'll be endgame options in store for Rebirth of Souls. So that's the one thing that I'm looking forward to.
Excellent. I think a lot of people would agree with that sentiment that you put forth.
Whatever the endgame option is, based on the developer play streams that we've done, what was it, a few weeks ago, there are a lot of ideas being thrown around, a lot of great ideas, and all it takes is some balancing and some tweaking to make it work. So let's see what they have in store for us.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that concludes the standard part of the interview. Now let's enter into the best of times, worst times. Now on your sheet you saw 8 possible questions. I think I can muster up that many. So I'll try to be as clear and as quick as I can be, and I'll try not to throw too many weird tongue twisters at you that you'll have to answer. All right. First one is favorite act or place from any of the Diablo series games.
Oh jeez. This answer is going to sound very boring, but I think just like a lot of other people, and I've seen this response, I've heard this response a million times. Act 1. Act 1 environment for Diablo 3 is just awesome. It was so well done. The effects, the graphics, the environment, it was great. And fortunately for Reaper of Souls, Act 5 is bringing that back a little bit. The environment is so good. Act 5 is amazing. For people who haven't tried the beta for Reaper of Souls, oh, you're gonna love Act 5. Trust me on this.
Alright, your favorite item ever.
Oh god, this sucks. Jeez. I really don't have one, really, in vanilla D3. But in Reaper of Souls, I cannot wait to get the full Veer's Arcana set, the aka Archon set. You know me, Archon's the way, and I cannot wait to get my hand on that set.
Yes. Same here. Get all the sets. Collect them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. What was your most anticlimactic legendary identification?
Shoot. Oh, let me think. Oh, there is definitely one. Anticlimactic. Oh, yes. This is one of them. I don't know if this is the best example, but I got, how Mempo of Twilights and Vanilla is so rare, and people just, gotta get that crit chance. I don't care if it's 3%, just give me that crit chance. I ended up getting a Mempo with high armor in the 440s range. The maximum is 457. It was 440 something. And intelligence, 200. All resistance, 80. Life percent, 12. Got the socket, 9 attack speed, pickup radius. Everything was perfect. Every stat was absolutely perfect. So close to perfect armor, just pickup radius. Imagine having a crit chance on it. Imagine. So, it actually still sold for a decent amount just because of the high base stats, but oh god, that feeling.
It's like you were there and you failed.
Yeah, I ended up just buying a Mempo for like 8 billion gold with the exact same stats with crit chance. So it's like a rage buy. That's really what it was. Yeah.
Like, I don't care if I don't eat Domino's tonight. I'm buying it. Yeah. What class should you never legally be allowed to play?
Never allowed to play. Well, I wouldn't say you can't play it, but a lot of my friends, especially wizard friends, we always joke about barbarians. Wizard barbarians like the total opposites. So it was like you can't play a barb if you're a wizard because sweaty old barbs, running around in circles uncontrollably. You can't play a barb. But that's not true. I have a barb, but a lot of us have barbs, so it doesn't really matter. Witch doctors, I guess. With all their puking and sneezing locusts out and puking on you with I don't know, maybe, borderline, it might not be the greatest thing to throw around in public, but, some old dude with a loincloth, but...
Kind of like the washed up wizards of yesteryear.
Yeah. to an extent, but that's about it. I don't think anyone's not allowed to play anything. But alright, just for the sake of answering your question, right? Right, that's it. Witch Doctor and a Barb.
Alright. And if you had to go back and fight in one place again, would it be heaven or would it be hell?
Hell. You know, for the sake of the Diablo atmosphere, right? It's gotta be dark, it's gotta be gory, it's gotta be nasty and melancholy. So, it's gotta be hell. Simple as that.
Very simple yet ever so controversial question. What do you prefer, BOA or trading?
Obviously I like to have the best of both worlds, which in a way the current system is like, you know, the clan, well, not clan. Oh, geez, see, there we go. There, I want clan trading, right? But you know, the 2-hour party window thing is, you know, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. So.
But if you had to pick one,
if I had to pick one, I would keep it the way it is right now, because I do not want to go back to third-party purchasing from bots, because it's gonna happen. If you have trading like that, it's just going to happen. There's no way you can avoid it. And you know, you taking me as an example, I toss so much money into the game as a hobby that I don't want to do it. I'd rather just play for fun. But that lure, you know, if the items are all tradable, purchasable, that lure is always going to be there, and people are always just going to pay to win. You know, it's going to be pay to win. And so keep it as it is now. I think it's good. If it does fail in the long term, you know, they could always take it away and bring back trading. But if they have trading now instead of buying on account and the economy goes all out of whack, you can't fix that with just throwing buying on account on the items, because the economy is already saturated with items and people already have pay to win traded all over the place, you know, instead of play the game to acquire their gear. So keep it as the way it is now. People are gonna get used to it, you know, just get used to it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So BOA it is. And the last question for you in this particular part is, what affix combination, if you were to see it, whether it's softcore or hardcore, I don't know if you play hardcore, but if you were to see a particular affix group that would just make you go, nope, 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 escape.
Oh, for elites?
Yes.
Different for softcore, different for hardcore, obviously. I did play hardcore, and both my characters ended up dying from my stupid judgment, but we'll leave that for another day. But for softcore, I can't skip elites. I really can't. If they hit me, I have to kill them. That's really what it is for me. So, regardless of the affixes, but if I do have to consider running away, not that it's going to happen, but if I do have to consider it, it has to be anything with Vortex and Frozen. I don't care about anything else. Vortex and Frozen are pretty much the things that I just, no, I can't do it. I just can't do it. And when they decided to make Vortex deal damage for, you know, patch 2.01 onward to Rebirth Souls, I just, why did you make Vortex deal damage? Same thing with Frozen. Why does it have to pulse for damage while it's spawning? That's just, oh god, no. So it just made it 10 times worse.
It's like, you're mean, Blizzard.
No, I mean, listen, I played an Perma Archon. A lot of people play Perma Archon, realize, you know, Frozen is like the only bane of your existence, because if you had a lifesteal weapon, you powered through everything. But that Frozen, you had to move. You just had to move, and it had Frozen, so that's why Frozen was the worst ever.
Alrighty, so that finishes up the interview. Now, we're running about, I would say, about a half an hour, so we'll keep the main topic, you know, on the shorter side, just so we don't drag this on. But the main topic for this podcast, as well as interview you, is what I'm dubbing Diablo 3, Rebirth of a Game, patch 2.0 and ROS. So I guess if you had to kind of sum that up or talked about that, like what would be some of the things you would like to point out to people on that statement? Like, is there anything that you could think of, 2 or 3 items that you think like really bring back the game, and even looking forward to ROS? I mean, even patch 2.0 brings a lot to the table, but ROS has even more that most people, I'm willing to bet are underestimating. But since we both have beta experience, and you could probably talk to that. So, what are the again, just restating the question, what are 2 or 3 things that could really hold true to that statement?
It's hard to say. I mean, okay, excuse me for this, but can you like, which 2-3 items that you?
Not physical gear items, like Paragon 2.0 or Loot 2.0, like, or any other core system. Like, to Diablo 3 Rebirth of a game, like what would you think in a game right now that has been fixed would really kind of hold that as a shunned example of this game is bigger, better, comebacks, hack and slash, kill monsters, get great loot?
I think it's a combination of a little bit of everything, because if anyone has, I know actually no, this shouldn't be the way to put it, because I know a lot of people came back for patch 2.01. A lot of people came back who haven't played the game in like a year and a half, and this game, as in its state right now, is almost nothing like it was back when the game first came out. It's better. It's just straight up better in almost all facets. There's nothing I think off the top of my head that is actually worse than what it was. I mean, you could argue the whole bind on accounting, but that thing can be discussed to
that's like
to no ends. To no ends. You can never stop discussing it. But other than that, excluding the whole bind on account debate, everything in the game pretty much has been improved on. The Paragon system, stats system, the diversity of items that you can get now compared to the past. It's all going in the right direction. So I know it's hard for me to not like what I see right now. Call me a fanboy, but it's really hard for me to like bash on it. I mean, even if I wanted to bash on it, it's hard for me to do so.
Like, you just brief edition. Like, I'm pretty much the same way, and just kind of sum up the feeling. It's like we've all had our personal opinions in the past about the game, and just kind of sum up. It's like you begin to raise your finger up and start pointing towards something, and now you're going, wait, it ain't that bad, and then you slowly lower your hand and your finger, and you're like, I'm just gonna play the game and have fun.
Yeah, there was I saw this on the Shatter Soulstone podcast, the latest one. It had a comic that they highlighted from, I forgot what the comic was from. Oh man, I regret it, but I can't remember where the comic came from. But
I think I know which one.
The 2-panel one, right? Yeah. The 2-panel one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first one was May launch. Oh, auction house terrible. Loot sucks. Oh, I can't do anything. This game sucks. And then come patch 2.01. Great, they fixed all the loot. They took away the auction house, but they should have done this in the beginning. This game sucks. Yeah, that's exactly how a lot of people are right now. This community, and it's regrettable, but fortunately, it's only a percentage of people who are like that. It's not everyone who's like that.
Yeah, I can definitely say on that, and I'm thankful that we kept that short, just so people don't go to sleep on us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have reached a conclusion, and a personal thank you for being the first one. But before we go, I'll let you have the last remark. If you just want to, as I said, if you want to plug yourself, go crazy, where can people find you? Any other little remnant of Zen-like information, as I called you out in the intro, you want to say, you can go nuts right now, and then we'll close out the show.
Twitter. Just follow me at Jaetch, Jaetch. You'll find me, and I only do YouTube and Twitter. So YouTube, I'll probably try to upload a version of this on YouTube at some point too, as well, from my point of view. Just look me up on YouTube. Just type in Jaetch in the YouTube search and you'll get my channel. It's not too difficult. It's only one of me out there. But other than that, you'll find me on the official forum. Just look for the green font.
Most likely in the Wizard Forum.
Most likely in the Wizard Forum. Oh, you'll find me roaming general as well too.
All right. So I just like to I'll bring the show to a close. I just like to thank you for being the first interviewee and also guinea pig to help me make this a bigger, better podcast as we go along. And you can find this podcast on our GrindExp YouTube. You can visit us at grindexp.com, and you can also find us at GrindExp on Twitch. I think you know where this is going, folks. And also on Facebook, just look fan pages and search for GrindExp. Yes, I did my homework and I did everything right the first time. So with that, we'll bring the show to a close. Thank you one more time, Jaetch.
Great to be here. Nice talking to you.
No problem. And we will see you in 2 weeks with a new interviewee and a whole new set of questions. Have a good night, folks.
Good night, everyone.